Yeah, I'll get you that holder. You want that holder?
Uh,
Hang on
yeah,
a second. I'll be right back. Say hello. Say you're live on YouTube right now.
live on YouTube. Oh, I see that. Good morning from the Nerve Center of Henry McClure Productions. Marshall Barber, your guest here.
The Glass Houses Studio.
The Glass House Studio. Okay, there we go.
I like that. Glass Houses Studio. Anyway, good morning. We're back live on YouTube, and we're still streaming on TikTok. And
I'm fixing to go live on Facebook here.
and I'm going to
Live video. There we go. Go live.
all right. So, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, friends and neighbors. This is Marshall Barber on Facebook Live. We are from what is now known as the Glass House Studio.
Glass Houses.
Glass Houses Studio.
Hey, do you like this?
With the inestimable and patriotically attired Henry McClure.
This is my parade wear for Potwin.
You're going to go to the Potwin
yeah,
parade.
I will be in the Potwin parade. Hope I run into Kevin Cook.
We're discussing 4th of July plans here, and we will shortly be discussing City of Topeka issues as well as real estate. So
first, let's talk about Dr. Gundry.
Oh, you want to? Okay, you want to do that?
Did you want to do something?
From a health standpoint?
Yeah, I want to talk about health.
Let's talk about.
Do you want to know something
let's
crazy?
Let's talk about staying healthy with Dr. Gundry, whose products I have been using.
So what's really wild is at Monday's county commission work session about the budget, they were saying that the life expectancy of somebody in Shawnee County is 75.
Uh-oh.
I mean, from our health statistics.
I got 2 years to go.
Isn't that?
Actually, I've got a year and a half to go.
Think about that. You get a job, you go out and move boxes at Target, retire at 65, and you got 10 good years. I mean, that sucks.
Yeah.
That would suck. Could you imagine that being your life?
No.
Hey, I got an idea. So
as far as Dr. Gundry, so
let's get healthy. First off, you've got to eliminate sugar and anything that metabolizes into sugar.
Okay.
Number one. So sugar is the number one killer. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to drink coffee, you better learn to drink it black, because all that shit people put in coffee, it's no good. And you got to learn about. So he wrote a book, and if I've got it, oh no, I actually gave Gundry's book about ketosis to Matt Pavarnak.
Okay.
Yeah, you know Matt?
I don't.
Matt Pavarnak is the president of the Chamber of Commerce.
Facebook Live with
yeah.
Henry McClure from Glass Houses.
Glass Houses.
We're talking about the average life expectancy in Shawnee County being 75 years.
That would suck.
I'm getting real close to that. Henry's pretty far away from that. But as part of this discussion, we are talking about
Dr. Gundry.
Dr. Stephen Gundry. He's got a PBS show, which unfortunately I have not seen, but I just want to say.
Oh, he's got podcasts out to Yin Yang.
This guy's legit.
Yeah. And so Dr. Gundry was one of a world famous heart surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And a guy came in, let's call him Big Ed, because that's what he refers to him. So Big Ed. Yeah, he's a huge fella. And Dr. Gundry says, you're not well enough to even take surgery, to have surgery. So Gundry says, look, I'm sorry, but I can't operate on you. Come back in 6 months, start taking care of yourself. So dude comes back in 6 months, and he's been taking all the stuff. And Dr. Gundry, what is all this stuff? The guy made these concoctions, which ended up to turn out to be Vital Reds. So Gundry literally retired his day-to-day surgery. Now he still practices medicine, and sees patients. And what I like about Gundry, he's a guy that says, well, you know what? We studied this a little longer, and I'm going to change my opinion on something. But Big Ed didn't need to have surgery. So,
wow.
Yeah, so Gundry looks at all the stuff that Big Ed's taken, and that was the evolution of Vital Reds. And so you got to find out what lectins are, and you got to find out what polyphenols are. Polyphenols. So eat all the polyphenols you can, which are antioxidants, and avoid lectins. So let's look at this. You got to learn about your microbiome. So from your mouth to your anus, if you filleted yourself, your microbiome is only one cell thick and would cover a tennis court. So what happens is lectins will cut through your microbiome, and most of the sickness that happens is from leaky gut.
Okay.
So, and what's really funny is Hippocrates said all health comes from the gut.
Let me back up. Leaky gut then is something that destroys the microbiome.
Well, the lectins destroy the microbiome.
Okay.
And then stuff leaks into your body, and you get leaky gut, and that's the beginning of all the unhealthy situations that arise in your life.
You got that, Andy? Talking to Andy and Dennis here.
Hey, Andy.
This is Facebook Live right now. Before we talk real estate, we are discussing.
Yeah, because
we are discussing nutrition with Henry McClure, who's been studying.
What a better county commissioners to make you guys live longer.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. You're also a candidate for the county commission.
Yes.
District 2, which we'll now show. There it is.
And so I've been thinking more and more about retiring the real estate license. And I'm going to do it for two reasons. Because I think that the city and the county, Jetto, has taken away my ability to be in the real estate business. And I'm telling you, I can't lie. And I can't sell Topeka anymore. And so if the group that doles out all the economic development money isn't going to deal with me, my friends are saying, Henry, the city's slow playing you. And it shouldn't take 2 years to get a Pizza Hut permit. We shouldn't be fighting today to get Whataburger in, owned by Patrick Mahomes. Now listen to this.
Mahomes. This, by the way, we might just mention, if you have not heard the news, we might just mention that Whataburger is coming to Topeka.
Okay, so let's think about this.
Are they in Lawrence now already? Or I know they're in Kansas City.
So let's think about this real quick. No, I don't think I'm not the Whataburger real estate guy. Okay, they've got a broker and I can get you in contact with them. So here's the deal. Think about Laura Kelly and the Star Bonds.
Oh, yeah. Which we're going to use theoretically to build
get the Chiefs
a football stadium.
Yeah. So the city of Topeka is slow rolling Whataburger for their star player. So, at some point in time, that might go upstairs.
For their star player. Who's the star player?
Patrick Mahomes.
But okay, I don't understand the connection.
He's the Whataburger franchisee.
I get that. So why is the city slow rolling Whataburger?
Because it's not. Maybe because I'm involved.
Okay,
maybe because
they're not doing this. In other words,
I'm not saying they're picking on me personally,
right?
But I just think it's inefficiencies in the planning department.
Okay. And
the structure of getting permits. So here's the thing. So we've been working on this for years. That we sold Mainline Printing, the Gordmans, and some acreage, 5 acres.
This is where the theater used to be. It's where the saloon used to be. Where Richmond Gordon used to be. Bennigan's, yeah.
Yeah. So, and also too, I'm probably working on relocating Car Hop.
Okay, it's where Car Hop is right now.
No, that's something different. On the other side of the street, south of Car Hop, Chick-fil-A is under construction. You can go see Chick-fil-A now. And then to the south of that, where Bennigan's and Wild Horse used to be,
right?
I've got Whataburger, and Whataburger has got a full set of plans. They're ready to start construction. All they have to do is be issued the permit.
To begin construction.
Yeah, but they're slow playing us because of some stuff that we've got to do out on the streets. So we have a TIF agreement and a CID agreement that's about 13 months old. Okay. And in TIF and CID, there's certain things that the developer can put in, but if you didn't have that, those deals wouldn't happen.
TIF stands for tax increment financing.
Right.
But
So
what does CID stand for?
It's a commercial investment district.
So this will be a conversion.
Both.
Okay.
And we're just following the law. It's state statute.
Simultaneous TIF and CID.
Yeah. So there's a large TIF district out on the boulevard.
Right.
And, literally we could use CID wherever. If I wanted to redevelop this building, I could use CID today. CID is the future of development.
Okay.
And I saw you wanted to drink. I thought you were going to take notes.
No.
Okay.
It's hard to hold this camera and take notes at the same time.
All right. Well, and this is another reason why we need to do away with the way we do economic development today. Besides the 67% of the economic development money going to overhead, Miss Molly.
If somebody asks you to document that, can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I can prove it all. And plus, I'm going to revise my Cora request to prove where they're really wasting money. They're doling out money like the United Way. I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with economic development, but what they've turned it into a slush fund. So everybody loves Go Topeka now. How could you hate Go Topeka? They gave this money to these people. Oh, you want to take that away? You know how it works. But this ain't a warm and fuzzy world of economic development. That's not the use of economic development money to be a charity. And I don't want the government at all deciding what charities we're going to give to anyway, to make your property taxes go up.
What basically is the function of
government?
These entities, which I guess are quasi-governmental.
Well, think about it.
As far as economic development is concerned.
So I can do it myself. I've made more deals in my lifetime than Molly Howie ever.
Well, yeah.
My whole career.
My question is still, go back to ground zero. What do they do?
The idea of why we passed the sales tax was to grow the population and increase the tax base. Okay? We did neither.
We grow the population of Shawnee County?
Yeah.
Or Topeka, or both?
Both. It's one, because JEDO is the Joint Economic Development.
Okay.
And this is how useless JEDO is. Because, well, no, seriously, for 2 years, for a decade, they're meeting every quarter. Why didn't they solve Lawrence Bay? Hey, city, county, we're all together, we're in one room. Why? Hey, we got one guy out there that hadn't paid taxes in 5 years. Now it's a decade. Dude owes $8 million in back taxes. And also, I'm pretty sure I found another piece of ground that the guy owns. Well, why don't we sell that ground to make up for all the other ones?
Okay.
And I don't want any more. If you own an LLC in the Shawnee County and it's not towing its weight, you're not getting any help. You're not going to get a TIF district, and you're not going to get a CID. Nope. You gotta clean the slate.
So does somebody? Okay, let's just take Whataburger for example. Somebody say has a franchise,
right?
Whataburger,
Patrick Mahomes,
or what's the fancy Asian restaurant that people like?
Mean Panda Express?
It's in the Country Club Plaza, but it's not here.
Oh, You know, Macerich owns half of the Country Club Plaza.
Did they sell their half too? Because
No,
that deal just
it's with-
closed. The Country Club Plaza deal. But I'm just saying, okay, let's say you have something that wants to come to Topeka.
right.
Where
Well,
where do they start?
Well, the cabal sends everybody to go Topeka.
So there's Go Topeka,
Right,
and there's Jetto.
right.
What else is there?
Well,
Then
there's the city council
there's the city,
and the county commissioners.
so there's county planning, city planning.
Yes.
There's those two entities.
Now, Kevin Cook says he wants to merge the planning departments.
Okay.
And I want to kick the city out of the 3 Mile area because you're not represented. You don't have an elected official in the 3 Mile area to dispute. And see, and Kevin Cook can't.
In the 3 Mile area.
Yeah, because
you're dealing with
the city has encroached. You know, once you go outside this 3 Mile area, you got 3 miles from that point. The city planning still does it.
Okay.
And I don't want the city pulling down all of Shawnee County.
Does city planning override county planning within that 3 Mile area?
Yes, there is no county planning really.
Okay.
So if there's not that an elected official will fight for you because they've got to answer to their the Greater Topeka Chamber.
Oh, now there's another player. So we have Jetto. We have, what was the other one?
So let's put Jetto aside.
How many players do we have? We got Jetto. We got the.
So let's put Jetto aside.
You got the Topeka Chamber of Commerce.
So some dude called.
And Go Topeka. That's 3 right there.
So the mayor.
Okay.
So let's say the mayor gets a call from the PF Chang is what you're talking about.
PF Chang.
So PF Chang calls and the mayor. Then they bring you in, they glad hand you, and then they'll give you to Greg Schwert and Ken Spanky first, because like when the Chinese came to town, that's who got to go to the meeting.
Oh, really? Well,
did you get invited?
No,
I wasn't invited.
I might as well have been in Tewksbury, Massachusetts.
Who is in Tewksbury?
Our friend Peter Mayotte.
Hello, Peter.
What we're doing here on Facebook Live, incidentally, is discussing economic development in the city of Topeka with the inestimable and patriotically attired Henry McClure. This is the Glass Houses studio from which we're emanating this morning. And when you really stop and think about it, okay, you've got so many players involved here. How do you ever get anything done? You got Go Topeka, you've got Jetto,
bingo.
You've got the Chamber of Commerce.
Bingo.
Then you've got 2 different governmental agencies.
Next time
you've got the county commission and the city council. So
next time you run into Dr. Dunk, ask him why the plans for Pizza Hut took over 2 years to get a building permit.
This is for.
And you know how much that commission was?
No.
For me, $3,000.
Hmm.
Think about that on a daily basis.
You're going to have to talk to Carrie Garland about writing a check that big. Good morning, Carrie.
Hey, Carrie.
she's the one that gets to process my transactions down at Valley Realtors, and I think she's already aged about 5 years since she started working for us. But this is where Dr. Gundry come into play.
Okay, because she's on them too.
Oh, and Terry says, I hope Henry takes blood pressure meds because we need him.
Oh,
you're getting some support here from
Hey,
Terry.
I love you. That's very nice. But you know something? I don't take a pill.
Because he's taking, say, fill in the blank.
Well, I've
what was that?
Well, number one, I'm 9 years clean and sober. So I live more responsibly. I'm off of sugar.
Also want to say hi to Debbie over there in Kansas City, former Topeka, Debbie Hasser.
Oh, hello, Debbie. My daughter lives in KC.
So does mine.
We're of the Kansas City Bantleons.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a story behind that.
Well, so back on this.
So no. In fact,
you were talking about
I get revved up. Now my face is red. You know why? You know what I use for my moisturizer? Just coconut oil.
Okay.
Because your microbiome is on the outside too.
Not only does Facebook, not only do we give you the insight on the machinations involved in economic development, not only do we give you insight into local, wow, somebody, I was going to say, now we've got health and beauty tips. From
Hey, you're on the Henry McClure Live Show.
Moisturizer tips.
Yeah, I was trying to call you on the studio, but we're in a studio call, and I'll call you later. All right. So,
Want to say hi to Kathy?
which one?
Kathy
Oh,
Munsell. Yeah, some of these people
okay.
kind of.
You don't want. You don't have to be guilty
here.
by association.
But
so, all right. So, whoever.
Enough about moisturizers. Let's.
Well, no. What I'm talking about is your microbiome's on the outside too.
Okay.
So, Dr. Gundry's a big fan of coconut oil.
Okay.
And so you got to get rid of butter. You can use ghee, but you can use, you got to get rid, no vegetable oils, corn oils, avoid corn completely. You just can't eat corn. And so there's a whole list of foods. And so,
what if you eat animals that eat corn?
Same thing.
I mean, you're talking like.
No, I'm telling you.
In Iowa.
You got to eat grass-fed beef and grass-finished.
The whole thing in Iowa, is corn-fed hogs, corn-fed beef.
No, because it's not.
That state single-handedly.
And Dr. Gundry.
That state single-handedly is killing the Gulf of Mexico with all the ag chemicals that wash into the Mississippi River drainage from
Dr.
growing
Gundry
corn.
Will tell you
that's a different subject.
It's not so much, it's what did the animal eat that you were eating.
Yeah. Yeah. So those.
Yeah. So, I mean,
they're all eating corn.
Yeah. So you don't want to eat farm-fed salmon. You want to eat wild caught. So the seafood they eat, it's got to be wild caught. And I'm going to tell you, so being a drug addict of the old days, so you get clean and sober, and sometimes you'll cheat on and you justify it by saying, well, at least I'm not a drunk today. Right. Oh man, this girl.
At least I quit drinking.
Yeah. So
bring on the Hostess Twinkies.
Yeah. So so that's why you got to detox from sugar.
Right.
Because that's all that alcohol is just metabolizing into sugar. So I drank myself to type 2 diabetes, and then through exercise and eating right, I'm not a diabetic anymore.
Cool.
Yeah. So and whoever said check the high blood pressure, tell them I love them. Thank you. That was the nicest thing. I mean, that's nice to be needed.
Does what was that called? Vital Reds?
Vital Reds.
Do they solve blood pressure as well as?
No, I don't need that. Last time I had my blood pressure taken, it was 120/80.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at, although I'm thinking of having mine checked again because I haven't been feeling right lately, but that's a different subject. But does the Vital Reds help with blood pressure?
Well, I think
is that the stuff that Big
Ed? This is what I got to get at. There's no one pill for all health. It's a regimen.
Right.
And then it comes down to self-discipline. I can't, and I have a piece of apple pie than I would a scotch, but I can't have either.
Can't have either?
No.
Well, that's just so unfair.
It's sugar.
It's unfair.
You can't have sugar.
Oh no.
You got to detox from sugar and anything. I mean, like you can't have like white sliced bread, the flour, the wheat, everything. It's almost like I'm surprised we're here, but if you follow Dr. Gundry's regimen of polyphenols and lectins, exercise, and what he really does, I'm telling you, when you really get in line, your spiritual eye wakes up. You become more spiritual. It's like, oh wow, I have found a better way to live, and it really makes you want to live longer. We're supposed to be living to 125. Okay, now Gundry also studies all the blue zones.
Now, Dave wants to know, is Henry a vegan now? I don't think you
Mm-mm.
are. No, he's not.
No,
That would be a negative.
no.
Thanks for dialing in, Dave. We appreciate that.
My only cheat is coconut ice cream, and it's on Gundry's list, but some of the some of the sugars in that. But he did,
Oh, I see. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
You're, but you're okay with anything that's range fed as opposed to corn. So beef,
yeah, free range,
pork,
yeah.
etc.
And you're better off hard boiling your eggs than frying them.
Mm.
But if you're going to fry them, you better use. And I'm telling you what, he is so big. He says the only reason to eat is to consume extra virgin olive oil, and it's got to be cold pressed. And he sells this stuff, but he'll even admit that you can go a cheaper way. And even he even says on your supplements, you don't need my supplements if you just follow the diet completely. But he has a thing called Lectin Shield.
Lectin Shield.
Yeah, he'll take it if he's going to break his diet.
We were just talking about how confusing it is to have 5 different entities involved in economic development in Topeka and Shawnee County.
We're going to switch from Gundry that fast?
And here's the thing about all this health and nutrition stuff.
Yes, sir.
There's so many different people, even just one guy like Dr. Stephen Gundry. There's so many different things they tell you to do or not do. It's just like trying to keep track of all these entities involved in economic development.
Okay.
Which 5 things am I going to take to live to 80 as opposed to blinking out at 77?
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you get emails from...
Oh, here we go. Lee's checking in from Waffle House. Now there's a healthy alternative. Way to go, Lee. Slam down those waffles. And
I can't eat waffles.
Be sure to have plenty of syrup too. We need a Waffle House in Topeka. I'm just now realizing that.
Yeah, do it.
Huh? How can we make that happen?
Well,
the quarterback.
I can point you in the right direction.
The quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars, the long-haired guy, Trevor Lawrence, he takes his team out to the Waffle House when they win. So anyway,
what's wrong with that?
Can that be so bad? But anyway, yeah.
Well, okay, but look.
So what?
No, but hang on a second. Waffle House doesn't qualify with Go Topeka. She'll tell you
why.
Because that doesn't create jobs.
But I want a Waffle House.
But she'll say that doesn't create jobs.
Oh, and
she's a liar.
By the way, Lee is going to after he gets done at Waffle House, he's going to go get a quarter pounder somewhere.
Well, so here's the big lie. The big lie of for my Pizza Hut deal, when I asked for some money, I asked for a sewer extension. Okay. It was $100,000 that I asked for to give him sewer. It would have been paid back by now. But she said that doesn't create jobs. Then she sends all this stuff out to the United Way.
Well, yeah. What about the people who get paid to build the sewer? Is that not a job?
Well, wait. Well, it's all part of the lie. They're lying to you. Go Topeka. They're lying. So I'll show you this list. I've posted it. It's all these things. Now listen to this.
Wait, here's a Waffle House update from Lee down in Dallas. They do have quarter pounders at Waffle House. One more reason why Topeka needs a Waffle House.
I'm all for Waffle House.
So let's say that I'm talking
even
to somebody.
As being an alcoholic, have bars. Alcoholism went up in Prohibition, and if there are people, people that can drink responsibly, well, go ahead. It's just not for me, but I'm not going to deprive the universe of alcohol.
That's a good analogy for a lot of things. That's a good analogy. Just because I can't do it doesn't mean you can't do it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Well, and it's just like the guy digging the sewer. That is a job.
Yeah. Tell Torgerson Trenching that they're not providing jobs.
But listen to this. Here's the mother of all mothers. They gave a grant for $2,500 to the Bring Back the Boulevard Committee.
The Bring Back the Boulevard Committee.
Yes, and then Bring Back the Boulevard Committee whatever they did and whoever they are, they ended up putting a sign on where Whataburger is going to go. And it said, improvements brought to you by Bring Back the Boulevard Committee. Well, bullshit. You didn't do anything. And this Kit Lammers that's up here, his office is right here, never would meet with me. Because what I've done is I've turned myself into a pariah for, exposing the farce.
Okay, well, while we're talking about that, let's also say hi to Dana Murdoch.
Hello, Dana Murdoch.
She's over there, Cable Dahmer. That's where a guy like you, Henry, could buy one of those big trucks.
Hey, I got that hotel for sale right across the street, $500,000.
There you go. Let's see. Lee says he used to go to Poor Richard's, eat burger and coffee at 3 a.m. after grandmother's in the balcony closed. Those were good old
Bob
days.
Zabel.
Those were good old days.
Remember when Kansas used to open?
Yep.
At grandmother's?
Absolutely. And Kansas, by the way, is coming back to Topeka. And there are 2 shows scheduled for early October. I think the first show is sold out. I believe there are still probably a couple hundred tickets left, at least for the second show, when Kansas plays at TPAC.
Hey, TikTok, if you want a better view of this whole thing, look at my profile and you can go live on YouTube, because we're live over here on YouTube.
This is Facebook Live. I'm talking with Henry McClure.
We're streaming live on YouTube and TikTok.
We're discussing a variety of
And by the
subjects,
way, I do
like
enjoy our shows.
Pardon?
I do enjoy doing our shows.
Yeah, we're having a good time here.
Yeah.
It's very interactive and pretty spontaneous. Sometimes a little ADD, but that's okay.
That's fine. That keeps the audience jumping.
It's probably a step up from the conversations that used to occur at Poor Richard's at 3 a.m. after grandmother's in the balcony closed. So
this is what's
okay.
The ironic thing of
want to say hi to Tara.
After years, and so like how drug addicts like to blame something, so
including their own addiction.
Yeah. So I blame Go Topeka for my alcoholism and drug abuse, because no, seriously. So when they would tell me no, that doesn't create jobs, and all their smoke and mirrors while they're getting investigated by the FBI. But listen to this.
I blame Bob Zabel for my alcoholism and abuse, for keeping me up till 3 a.m. playing disco records.
So I'd go to the bar.
When he went disco at grandmother's.
I'd go to the bar, and there's all the other guys that heard no, and we'd get drunk together and make more deals.
There you go. So, okay, let's go back to my Waffle House concept.
Okay, so
let's say I reach out to Waffle House.
Right.
And somebody wants to build a Waffle House in Topeka.
So in order to get any incentive, you got to go talk to Molly, and then she gives you the runaround.
And she is with who?
Go Topeka.
That's Go Topeka.
Yeah.
But does Jeddo or the Chamber come into play?
Yeah, they support Molly because they're the ones, getting the campaign contributions to keep them in business. You got to keep your politicians in place.
Right. Yeah, you gotta have friendly faces on.
Yeah, it's like Weekend at Bernie's living in Topeka. So
Bernie Van Stone?
No, you've seen that movie. Where the guy's dead?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I remember that.
Yeah.
Actually.
So those are our politicians. We got like the corpses in there buying hotels, and not counter offering $7.6 million offers because they want to be in control.
By the way,
yes.
Can I ask a question? Is that $7.6 million offer still on the table?
Fuck no.
And have we talked to anybody?
No, they were so rude to him, and the smug. Oh, for your little virgin ears that can't handle those big words, this is an R-rated show. So they were so rude. And now listen to this. This is what's even more cool. Is the consultants made $540,000, $554,000.
That's a lot.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed to
by
be
the way,
consultants.
We're getting some positive feedback from Deb Goodrich about your Uncle Sam vibe this morning.
Well, tell her how come I haven't got White Plume's lawyers on the phone. I'm trying to get White Plume some representation here for the Curtis house.
Oh yeah, we talked about the Curtis house last Saturday.
Yeah, and then after that, I called her on the phone
during a special Christine Sports edition of Facebook Live, and yeah, Deb asked the question: do I have to do everything for you, Henry? I like the way our.
I'm not answering that.
I like the way our audience is just hitting right back. Compliments, by the way, on our Curtis House discussion.
Yeah, that was fun. But I do want to talk to White Plume's lawyer.
Okay, so back to my Waffle House project.
Okay, so this is what Henry McClure believes.
Can't they just buy a lot somewhere and put in a Waffle House?
No problem. And so let's just take away the economic development, all $5 million completely, because you didn't grow the population and you're not lowering the tax base. And then you could do Waffle House with TIF and CID. And we're better off doing 100 Waffle House deals than we are the boondoggle out there with moving boxes.
Oh, the big box. Boondoggle.
See, the box movers are.
Say hi to Joyce. Say hi to Joyce.
Hey, Joyce. I saw JoJo down there the other day. You ought to ask JoJo about the guy that was haranguing me in the hallway over being evicted.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. I had to get a protective order against that guy.
I don't think we're talking about the same person here, but that's okay.
Joyce E?
No. This is Joyce B.
Oh.
We have not heard from Joyce E.
Oh, okay. So was that Joyce E or B last time we were live?
That was Joyce E.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Joe, you know JoJo. Joe Ebert.
JoJo White?
No, JoJo. I call him JoJo.
Oh yeah, Joe Ebert. Yeah.
Yeah. He was in the hallway when this guy was haranguing me.
Oh
yeah. And then we had a city council person lie to all her colleagues over what's going on.
I really shouldn't say too much about it, but our friend Joe E. himself, when you talk about people being evicted, he was the subject of what, in my mind, constituted a government atrocity when he was dealing with a tenant who hadn't paid rent forever, and this tenant went straight to the media to whine about being evicted, and so the media immediately, this is TV, got on this guy's side, and pretty soon they had law enforcement people down there not dealing with the unruly tenant, but attacking Joe, the landlord.
Well,
so
that's an interesting subject.
This can really get out of hand.
What we need to do, and this is what I'm going to do. I promise you. See, I think I've just taken one layer of the onion off as far as the Go Topeka being irresponsible with our tax dollars. So I'm going to pledge my life now to taking all the layers off of the onion. So like the mayor the other day didn't declare the fact that he got a gold brooch from the Chinese. Caught him on that. Okay.
Oh, well, of course, the Chinese wanted to thank our mayor for helping people buy more and more fireworks every year that are made in China, of course. So yeah, we got billions going to China just so people can send their money up and smoke.
So let's go back 16 months ago.
Yeah.
I wrote a letter to Sylvia Ortiz asking for help to relocate a person that I knew was going to be a problem, right? Because I've done this for 44 years. I know when a problem's around the corner. So Sylvia is so dismissive, and she's the one who shouted me down in a public infrastructure meeting where you can't even make public comment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we really got to find somebody in District 3 to run against Sylvia Ortiz. There has to be better choices.
Okay, can we find District 3 on the map?
In fact, all of District 3 is inside
I
my.
want to say hi to another Topeka West 68 graduate, Terry.
So I want to sit down with Karen Hiller, and I want to thank Karen Hiller for sending me an email.
Is that city?
This is
district?
Sylvia. Yeah. So you got to remember, these districts are within my district too.
Okay, they're part of district.
Yeah.
2.
So I need to be like an ambassador to
You're
Karen
on-
Hiller,
you're
our
on
deputy
Southeast
mayor,
Rice Road.
Banks,
Yeah.
Sylvia Ortiz. As a county
Okay.
commissioner, I need to be an ambassador.
See, District 3 is part of County District 2. And this down here would be where 3 is, right?
This is 2. Yeah. So here's 3 down here.
Okay.
And this is where Brett Blackburn's running.
Okay.
And Brett Blackburn, this is an important
Now,
race.
you're talking County Commission 3 as opposed to City Council 2.
Yeah.
City Council 3.
Hey, can you scoot up a little bit so I can get you in the camera a little bit?
Oh, okay. I can do
in
that.
In the
Yeah.
range.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So,
Well,
and Brett Blackburn's a really important race because he's running against Aaron Mays. And there's only a primary. It's just 2 Republicans running.
so that's it.
Yeah, that's it. We got to get him elected. You know, Brett is a 4th generation Topekan.
When is the primary?
August.
Early August.
Yeah.
Second- Is it the first Tuesday in August?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
He's okay. Once again,
But listen to this. Blackie, Brett Blackburn, I've gone to school with him since 4th grade. He's a engineer. His family was in the nursery business for 85 years.
sure.
He grew up in the nursery business. And literally after his city council, the chamber and Go Topeka, I feel, destroyed him. They did, because he didn't toe the company line. And he started losing customers one by one because they were, I think they had 5 for 5. You know, you pledged to give $5,000 a year for 5 years, and so all I want to do is
By the
let
way,
the chamber be
That
the
election
chamber.
is August 6th.
August 6th. Who said
Thanks,
that?
Terry.
Okay, so what I want to do is let the chamber be the chamber. Fine. It's all supported. They have about $9.5 million in contributions. So put the chamber over here, but we can do away with Go Topeka, and then let's take Visit Topeka and Downtown Topeka out from the umbrella of Go Topeka.
But we forgot. Actually, that brings the total up to 7. I forgot about Visit Topeka. And what was the other one you just mentioned?
Downtown Topeka.
Right. You got Downtown Topeka, Visit Topeka.
We got too many chefs in the kitchen.
We do have a few.
So let's move Visit Topeka over to the Expo Center. Now, Stormont Vale, which, by the way, I don't understand how Kevin Cook can tell me oversaw major restorations and preservations project. Stormont Vale Event Center. What did he do? How could you take his credit for that? No, I'm serious. How does Kevin
Excuse me.
Cook take credit for that? What did you do, Kevin?
Yeah, well, actually, I want to say something about this independent voice of reason and moderation. Hey, I'm the independent voice of reason and moderation.
Well, and you know something?
We can start.
Is at least we can agree on Israel.
Yeah, because we are both independent voices of reason and moderation. What is that?
But also, too.
Let's see. What else have we got here? He's taking credit. Current major restoration and preservation projects.
He built a swimming pool over in Oakland.
Well, the Shawnee County Courthouse, kind of neglecting to mention that
What the fuck?
that 2 years ago, as opposed to
Excuse me.
renovations of the county courthouse, they bought a whole new courthouse at the corner of 7th and Quincy without any sort of public participation or input into that purchase. Who got their pockets lined when they did that?
Well, and I'm in favor of selling that.
There you go. Oh, can we talk? we do have some interesting viewer feedback here.
Okay.
Here's an example to show that misery loves company.
But you and me together being miserable?
Yeah, say no more. The small city of Lowell,
I'm not
Massachusetts,
miserable.
has several bridges over the Merrimack River. There was need for another bridge towards the north end. They hemmed and hawed and spent much money on multiple studies. I'm sure they had highly paid consultants involved there, starting in the late 60s. Finally, in 1985, they opened the quote temporary Rourke Bridge. It's in questionable condition now. Almost 40 years later, they're still hemming and hawing again. And then he refers to a story.
That's a comment?
Huh? That's just an example of the kind of process we're talking about, where something gets studied and studied and studied, and then something that's allegedly temporary goes on for 40 years plus.
Well, right. So,
of course, I don't know that any study.
One of the new presidents elected wants to do away with the Department of Education and the Department of Energy. Why do we need a Department of Energy?
Does the city of Topeka have a Department of Energy?
I'm talking about national. Okay.
Oh boy, we got to stay away from national.
All right. Speaking of Weekend at Bernie's. But anyway, that aside.
I'll give you that one.
Okay, thanks. Enough said. But listen, so let's take, if we started treating Topeka like a tourist town, we'd be better off.
Oh, excuse me.
And I'll tell you, when I lived in Reno, Nevada, it was happening. I mean, everybody was so nice in Reno. Like in our mall, everybody was nice to you because they wanted to sell you something. And Reno had the most savvy, small business people. And so we used to try to put 30%, 33% local, 33% regional, and 33% national.
You're causing me to have a thought here.
Well, let's have that. Let's hear it.
A
light bulb went on.
I'm like Al Pacino and Dick Tracy. I'm having a thought.
Al Pacino?
Yeah, he played the guy in Dick. You remember the movie Dick Tracy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, when you mentioned Reno,
yes, sir,
that town is heating up. But
I love Reno.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Did they have or do they have legal fireworks in Reno like we do in Topeka when it comes to?
I don't know. I mean, Reno.
Because here's a possible play.
You're like, get off my lawn about fireworks.
Well, they're a complete detriment to the whole concept of a civilized city.
Well, when you've got a protective
Johnson
order,
County doesn't have fireworks. Lawrence doesn't have fireworks. They are growing. We are not.
When you had to get a protective order over an eviction, I don't like fireworks right now.
But let me just throw this out.
Okay.
One area, the question becomes, what does Topeka do to become attractive?
Okay, so let's fix our streets.
My contention is fireworks is something that makes the city unattractive.
Okay, let's
go beyond that.
Let's bring the murder rate down.
We can do that. Let's talk about Reno. Let's talk about all these population centers in the Southwest from which people are probably going to be evacuating because of extreme heat. And Topeka, sure, we get hot, but we don't get 115-degree hot here. And that could be, a way we market ourselves to, just as people in Arizona were marketing themselves to people escaping California. Maybe now we can market ourselves to people who need to escape those large population centers.
New York and LA. Running
out of water in the Southwest. Just a thought. Like I said, like Al Pacino and Dick Tracy, I'm having a thought.
Well, I'm going to rewatch that movie. So
Madonna's in that movie. Maybe you don't want to rewatch it. It was really pretty good.
I don't know. Back in the day, Madonna had some good songs.
She did. She was a material girl.
And she was a virgin once.
She was. There's that, well, let's not get distracted into movies, but there's that great scene in Reservoir Dogs about the guys are discussing the meaning of the song Like a Virgin.
I like I like Quentin Tarantino's
Absolutely.
work.
Yeah.
I mean, Pulp Fiction is pretty cool.
Undisputably.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
You know, I
Jackie Brown.
Oh man, I love Jackie
Brown.
The music in Jackie Brown. Hey, let me ask you a question. What's your
Robert
favorite
Forster's my alter
movie
ego.
due to the soundtrack?
Because of the soundtrack?
Yeah,
That's a tough one.
mine hands down is Lincoln Lawyer.
Yeah, that's
It's
good.
got great music in it.
Of course, you had The Big Chill. And
Do you know I took a class called History of Jazz, History Through Music, or something like that? But
yeah,
James Gadd had the largest jazz collection in the world, or whatever, America.
right.
And what he would do, and we started at the 1900s, he would play music of the era, and then we talk about the history of that time. And that guy really brought history to life, because history is one thing I love. And that's one thing that we need to do is we need to understand why the fences are built if we're going to tear them down. But you gotta understand how the fence got there.
Okay.
So let's say separate but equal, right? And then Brown versus Board. Well, today we don't need all the school boards administratively. We need all the school boards for public involvement. So everybody gets to have public involvement. And that's the main thing. What I want to do is engage the public. I don't want it to be the same players, the same country club people, the same people of the chamber. I want to integrate a whole new people that want to get involved in our government and interact with more people. Because right now, I think the city of Topeka chokes Shawnee County. I think they do. And this is a farce.
One more bit of movie feedback. Barry's favorite Quentin Tarantino picture is Kill Bill. Good music in that one too.
Yeah,
Kill Bill.
I probably ought to watch it again. What's the girl's name in that?
Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman.
Yeah, Kill Bill has a liberal amount of Quentin Tarantino indulging his ongoing foot fetish.
This dude Quentin has a foot fetish.
Well, he hasn't said he has one. Maybe I'm the one that has one, because it seems to me in some of his movies, like that one and Once Upon a Time in L.A., you have these close-ups of the female star's feet. That they're lingering close-ups. They're not just incidental. Okay, here's a barefoot woman. These are like,
oh wait, in Jackie Brown, weren't they doing the Jimmy Stewart's daughter, her feet?
Bridget
Fonda.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But
so I dig movies.
Say hi to Al and Leroy. Vince.
I'd really like to get Laura to create a film commission, but we've got an enterprising
filmmaker right here in Topeka. The guy we saw Saturday.
Yeah, Gary Peelan.
Yeah,
the zombie movies. I want to get this guy in the studio,
and
I'd like to open the studio up to the public.
He should do a zombie movie, in which the city council is all zombie. And
well, that's without saying. Poor people. And you know something? I'll tell you the one that really makes me the most angry today is Neil Dobler, because he lives out in the Lawrence Bay district. And how did he let Lawrence Bay go on for so long?
Well, we'd have to ask him that. Maybe one of our viewers has a theory.
Neil Dobler is a good person.
He's on the city council.
Yeah, he's deep down a good guy.
Yeah.
When I first moved to Topeka, he was in public works.
Right.
And I used to do everything from the bottom up, work the system. And you know something, that's the way to do things, because these guys don't know what they're doing. They don't. I mean, you could say each one of them individually is a nice person, but collectively, they're not business people. Collectively.
Okay.
And now, Neil is the closest one.
Well, he came out of Bartlett and West, didn't
Yeah, but he also started up his own company.
he? Okay.
And you know something? I don't care. You learn more from your failures. And I think what I learned in failing in 94 and 95 in the internet business is what makes me, I'm killing it in views on my social media. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Did you know I sat down at the blind tiger, and here we go with the ego thing, right? So I sat down, ordered an iced tea, and the guy sets it down. He goes, "You're Henry McClure live." Yeah, I am. He goes, "I want to be on one of your podcasts." Done deal. His name is John the Yapper.
John the Yapper?
John the Yapper.
All right.
So
coming soon to a podcast near you. John the Yapper.
John the Yapper, right here in the Glass Houses studio. But we got to do things differently. I want to engage the public. Look, I don't know everything. I don't. But I've failed enough to know what to do right today. I'm a guy that has learned from my mistakes. If you just think of my recovery from alcoholism and me trying to live healthy, there's huge progress in that. And I want to share. I want to share it. You know, some people were talking about Fight Club. Did you know about Fight Club?
The movie?
Right before the lockdowns, we agreed to do. I did 97 meetings in a row for recovery.
Oh, okay.
With AA and NA, and I learned more about recovery in those 97 days. And you could come to the meeting. You could mask, you could social distance, you could not, you could do what you wanted. But we held meetings for 97 days in a row at 8:00 in a building that I own, the old Pizza Pub building.
Okay.
And from what I've heard is those people have gone out and they're the leaders now in the rooms. And I've had 3 people come up to me and say, Fight Club saved my life. And I think about how much alcohol I bought and other drugs that I've tried. You know, that was going down the wrong road. And while this guy's locking us down and making us wear masks, I'm holding meetings for recovery people. And I wrote a letter to Laura and I said, we are the emergency rooms. People need this human. Sometimes you just need a pat on the head. You know, you need a hug. You need, you know, it's like you said on my message. I love you. You know, brotherly love.
Well, so okay,
I kind of went on a rant there.
Yeah, that's really good. That's some good insight. You were holding this up, which once again on Facebook Live, we are with Henry McClure, who is a candidate for County Commission District Number 2.
Well, real quickly, even though it's not in my district, let's talk about Collins Park.
Hey, let's talk about Collins Park, because I'll be listing a house right on the park. One of these famous Garling House bungalows. It's Plan 109, in fact, at 1322 Collins. And I'll be putting up a sign later today and putting it up on MLS later today for $219,000. And this home is one of the more picturesque story and a half homes you'll see anywhere, but particularly in Collins Park. 1322 Collins. I think with one hand, let me just put this down for a second.
You want me to hold it?
I got it. I wanted to turn to the right page in this book, Bungalow Homes for the Nation, which the Shawnee County Historical Society published way back when. And Plan 109, I just have a little, they don't have the full plan in this book, but our friend Christine is working on getting a copy of the plans for me. There you have, for $1.50, you could get the new book of plans from Garling House. And here is a close-up of plan number 109. You could get the whole plan, complete set of plans for $10 back then. And you can see plan 109 at 1322 Collins. You can also see it at 129 Northwest Elmwood. 129 Northwest Elmwood, to the best of my knowledge, is not for sale and is not going to be for sale, but 1322 Collins will be for sale. As of about July 13th, you can take a look at it. And
July
maybe
13th, that's my birthday.
What? Are you kidding me?
No.
Go home.
You know July 13th?
July 13th. That's
I will be out at the Tecumseh shelter house at a neighborhood picnic. I got invited out there.
So perfect way to celebrate your birthday.
Yes. Well, and then what's really even more fun is Dana K. Anderson turns 90 on the 11th.
Wow, 7-Eleven.
But he's celebrating on the 13th because people are flying in all over the country.
Oh, I bet they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dana Anderson.
So he's and he's 90 and he's a kid. Now I gave him Dr. Gundry's book.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, called Gut Check. That's the new one out.
You gave me that book too, and I'm going to read it.
Read it.
I just haven't read it yet.
So Gut Check is where it's at. And I'm trying to restart TikTok.
While you're restarting TikTok, let's also share something about the 4th of July, the annual.
Tell me what you're going to be doing.
The annual Spirit of Kansas Blues Festival. Marshall White Hat Barber here will be your MC for about the 7th straight year. This will be the first year that, sadly, we have to do it without Suki, who we unfortunately lost a few months ago. But the Blues Festival continues out at Lake Shawnee's Reynolds Lodge. It is free to the public. And we're going to have Big Luke and the Soul Disciples, Howard Mahon, the Old Number Fives, Brody Buster, and Nick Schneblin, as well as my friend Dennis Rogers, the Spirit Dancer, will be there. And we'll have, as always, we have the Vietnam Veterans of America doing the color guard. And we're also going to have a special tribute to Suki to begin the festival. And it starts about 11:15 or so out there at Reynolds Lodge, which you get to off of Croco and 35th Street. The annual Spirit Kansas Festival. It's absolutely free. Plus, they got the big classic car show going on out there. So if you're looking for a good way to hang out on the 4th and have some fun, enjoy some music, leading up to the big fireworks display, that's the Spirit of Kansas Festival and the big car show.
And I'm looking forward on the 4th of July to be in Potwin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not going to give the street address, but I'll be at 222.
Yeah.
Over in Potwin.
Somewhere in Potwin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At an undisclosed location.
Right.
And it was nice to get an invitation, and I'll be able to walk in the parade. And we showed up early the other day.
Is this what you're going to be wearing?
Yes, I wanted to try it out. You know.
Look at this guy.
I'm not so sure I'll be wearing the button-down collar, but I wanted to be more formal today. In the Glass Houses studio.
I'm not sure I would layer up for a 90-degree heat.
And I may or may not be packing due to the protective order.
I don't know how they'd feel about that, but yeah.
Hey, I'm not the one in fear for my life.
Right. Yeah, that's sad commentary on the way some people are these days.
Well, but you want to know something really crazy about that eviction?
This is a guy who got evicted and he's blaming everyone but himself.
Well, it's sad because he actually got constructively evicted due to code compliance.
Right.
So he hadn't had water service.
We talked about that last week. Yeah.
And then I told you about all his stuff getting stolen.
Right.
And it's sad.
It was confiscated.
Code compliance.
We think by code compliance. And that's
No, we know it was code compliance because I got the bill.
Oh boy.
But I didn't have possession of the real estate.
Wow, that's just sad.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
and
hey,
but what makes me more angry is I tried to solve this 16 months ago with the city council
Right.
person. Hey, look, I'd like to develop this property. I've got a guy that's lived here forever. I know it's going to be a problem, right?
Right.
So, but she's smarter than me, and she's going to run it her way. And it turned out, and
see what
she's
happens.
laughing.
Yeah.
You know?
Happens. Okay, I'm
I'd
going
like
to
to
have to.
send in code compliance. I heard she's
I've
a
got to
hard.
excuse myself from the room for just a second.
Here, where are you going?
So, well, I'm going.
Okay,
That's the thing.
Here, give it
So-
to. Oh, you're leaving?
No,
Here,
I'll
then
be
give
back.
me the phone.
No, that's all right. I'll just pause this and there. Got to post that there. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I just gotta.
Hey,
I gotta do something.
he's
in
gotta
another
go.
room. When you got it, and I'm not talking about Costa Rica. This is a guy that got evicted and he's blaming.
all right. Well, hey, you're still here. About had enough of this. It's noon. Whoever's watching, thank you. I love you. I think I'm going to sign off on behalf of Harsh Marsh, or maybe I'll let him say goodbye when he gets in. But I got to go in there next. All right. I love you. All these liquids I've been drinking, I got to get out of here. It says in the stream. Well, I'm going to go start one. Henry McClure Live.